Hey y'all, what's going on? Man, I am really excited right now today. As you're seeing this, it's the first day of SHOT Show, but because of my friends at Colt, and I guess they put a little trust in me, I was very, very fortunate to get an advanced test copy of the new Python offering. And if you'll notice, it's blued. People have been clamoring for a blued Python. Well, here we go, man. They are introducing it. Other than being blued, it is identical to the stainless steel version that I reviewed back in 2020. Let's go over some of the stuff real quick. Now, I've only had this Python about a month. We've shot about 150 rounds through it of some 38 specials and some 357 magnums. There were no problems. There were no issues. There were no problems whatsoever with the gun. When Colt reintroduced the Python, they made some improvements, and I want to talk about those. The new Python is going to be benefiting from the advanced metallurgy of the time. Pythons also chambered in 357 Magnum were notorious. If you fed it a steady diet, a hot 357 Magnum over time, they may get out of time. Finding a gunsmith that can time a Python then wasn't too big of a deal, but right now would be like looking for hen's teeth. But they also increased the width of this top strap by 30%. And so that's gonna let you be able to really use the gun, and it's gonna take a whole lot more punishment than the earlier Pythons. Now also, they did redesign the fire control group. It is using a lot less parts, and essentially what that's gonna do for this Python, or all the Pythons, is it's gonna give you a more consistent non-stacking trigger pull from cylinder to cylinder. Now the double action trigger was breaking at just over 8 pounds. Single action trigger was breaking right around 3 pounds. The single action trigger had no take up, very little over travel. So I have shot some original Pythons. The trigger on this, in my opinion, is equal to, or maybe even a little better than the older Pythons. But also I would have a lot more faith in this, the new Python, just because it's being built and overbuilt really to handle that steady diet of 357 Magnum. Now, we didn't have a lot of people shoot it this time, only 4. You saw my mom and Candy and Chad, and the reason being is because currently while I'm filming this, I'm under embargo. So I could show it to the people and let them shoot it, that I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt they would keep it to themselves, because Colt asked me to get the review done, but don't say anything till day 1 SHOT Show, and I want to honor that since they're trusting me so good with this. It does come with the larger walnut target stocks. I personally, you have seen like on my 3-inch Python, I put the smaller combat stocks. I prefer those, but my mama, who also carries a 4 1/4 Python in stainless, prefers the target stocks. Any of the older stocks on any of the older Pythons will fit this revolver, so if you don't like these, it's an easy change. Now, the barrel length on my test sample is 4 1/4. I'm not sure what other barrel lengths are going to be offered. The height is 5.5 inches. The overall length is 9 3/4 inches. The width is 1.55 inches. The weight is 42 ounces unloaded. Capacity is 6 rounds, 357 Magnum, 38 Special. Now, I do not know the MSRP, but the MSRP of the stainless was $14.99. So I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be that or similar. New blued Python from Colt. Still got the wonderful target sights. Front one with the orange insert that's user interchangeable. The rear sight that's all black, adjustable for windage and elevation. That's a pretty good setup like I like. I like that orange insert contrasting nicely, and that rear U-notch. And then of course you've got the rib here on the top of the barrel to cut down any glare, because it is a pretty deep blue. You know, is it like the original Colt Blue? Well, if it ain't, it's pretty close. So I think Colt did a really nice job with this. Myself personally, I prefer the blued look to the stainless. I love the stainless Python, or I love stainless revolvers, but I like the blued look a little better. To me, it's a little more understated, maybe a little more classy. That's about all I got. Now, I'm gonna link the written article down in the description below, so you can jump over to rangehot.com and see the written article, as well as if you're curious about any more information on the Pythons, I'll also link to my other reviews of the 4 1/4 and that sort of thing. So you can get all the Python love you want from rangehot.com, and then we'll update it as we learn more. Y'all, that's about all I got. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. Look forward to seeing you at the range.